Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the old Golden Globus Theater. And wow, are we excited? Because this is a movie that just everybody needs to see, especially if you like, let's see, how many things did this remind me of? About 55 different things. There's a little bit of Wes Anderson visuals in there. You got a Warriors vibe, of course. Escape from New York vibe. I got some Devo in there. You got a bunch of Brooklyn shots, boot knives.
Wait. It's in the Bronx. What do you mean, Brooklyn shots?
Yeah, the Bronx. Sure.
No, they actually did film in the Bronx.
No, they didn't.
They did.
No.
They said they filmed in the Bronx.
No.
This guy's been to Brooklyn once, people, so he knows all about it.
No, the guy went to Brooklyn, was terrified out of his mind, and went back there to shoot all the exteriors. Those are Brooklyn.
I'm telling you. All I know is I was offended by the scenes of the World Trade Center. Too soon.
You can't see the World Trade Centers from Bronx.
Look at this guy. Fucking knows all about New York. I've been there, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't want any shit from you.
You've been to Buffalo.
No, I've been to the Bronx. I've been to Yankee Stadium.
I know.
You fucker.
I like your attitude, though, because then we also have Hammer, who reminds me of a very agitated Bronson, also kind of like a Punisher-type character.
Okay.
I mean, a dude named Hot Dog. What other kind of vibes did you get from this movie?
You said them all. I mean, it's basically a Warriors / Escape from New York ripoff.
I know, but there's so much more going on. You didn't get anything else?
Well, there's a lot of original shit, too. I mean, I got a little bit of Cabaret, which we'll talk about later on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just happy that what's our like New Barbarians? That episode is so popular because this is like my wheelhouse, Griff. I fucking love these Italian schlocky ripoff movies where they're just like, what's popular right now? What's popular right now?
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend any Italians out there. and they just throw that in the kitchen sink into it. Like, we're going to do them all. We're not going to just do a Warriors ripoff. We're going to throw every fucking popular movie into this movie. And you're going to love it, and we do.
Oh, yeah, they throw it in the blender. Like I was saying, there's kind of like pop culture references, and there's everything. It comes out being this like original Wonder House, but at the same time, there's a lot of influences. But it really does come out of its own. And I mentioned to you this to you earlier. It's like we have the same director from New Barbarian.
Yeah.
And he did this in a quote-unquote trilogy.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it.
It's not canon with the... Well, two of the films are, because one of them is the sequel to this movie. Yeah. But then New Barbarians was the other included in this
Well,
trilogy.
If we want to get technical, it could take place in the same world, because Barbarian takes place... Because we're off... In this movie, we're in the far-off future in 1990. And we all know New Barbarians takes place in 2018. We're living in it right now.
Everybody knows that.
Apocalyptic hellhole.
That's where I'm planning my next trip, actually, is to Apocalyptic hellhole. I think it's in Florida somewhere.
I don't know. I hope you don't film it in Brooklyn.
It's Brooklyn, man, I'm telling you.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Now that we're getting really agitated about my personal trip to Brooklyn, I got to tell you about this other personal trip I took recently. It was local. It was just down to Detroit. But I went to a show. My buddy invited me out to this weird, like, there was 15 different bands. They were all playing 10-minute sets, 10 minutes in between. And
they all must have had to use the same like drum kit and everything. Right?
Nope, they switched out. It was
so
nuts.
They took like a half an hour to set up and break down, and then played 10 minutes.
A lot of it, yeah, I know. It was intense. They powered through it though. They kept pretty good on schedule there. So, well, the whole night's going pretty okay, and then this one band comes out. And they're getting all ready. Everyone's setting up their gear. The lead singer, he's got like the long... He looks like Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse.
Right.
He's got the long hair. He's giant, dude. He's like 6'5", 280. Right as the first chord hits, he dives into the crowd. And I mean, like, perpendicular to the ground. He's not landing on his feet. Takes out like 35 people. And their 10-minute set included...
Like a human tsunami.
Like a human tsunami. He starts walking around the pillars for, holding this place up. He's got the mic cord going around with him. It just happens to be at everybody's neck.
Did he start kicking the pillars like Like kickboxer?
No, he didn't. And there was no yeahs in there.
Okay.
But so he's got people wrapped into a mic cord around their neck. He wanders back up to the stage. He's, singing and everything. Next thing I know, I see a table come through.
What kind of band? Is this like a metal band?
It was like a hardcore, like kind of metal-y band.
Okay.
So now there's a table in the mosh pit, and people are just like throwing it against each other and just going nuts. It's like it ends up on the stage where they grab it and like throw it back into the crowd. Somebody finally like pulls it to the side and gets it out of there.
Dudley Boys,
of course. Of course, the Hardys came through and they had a quick table match. Well, we lost our table. So then a fucking chair comes into the mix, and they're throwing a chair around everybody. That made its way up to the stage, and he throws that back into the crowd. And just when you think, like, okay, well, at least it went from table to chair, we're done. They find a fucking metal dolly, and they're dragging that through. It clocked this one guy in the face and cut him all open. And then...
How do they... This is only 10 minutes. How do they have time to do it?
I know! They were very efficient. And then the dolly gets put away. I see this man climb on top of the speaker, and he's in the scaffolding. He's like up in the scaffolding of the building. The roof's only like 20, 25 feet up. And then there's like this ledgeway that he's like got his feet on, and he's going around. And then he tries to go the long way across, just monkey barring it.
He's doing like an Eddie Vedder from that one video, Alive.
I couldn't tell you about that because I've never seen it.
Sean Pigeon will tell you all about it.
I'm sure he will. He gets probably 6 bars into it. He's got about 45 to go. And then you see him let go with one hand.
Winded, like, oh, bro.
You see him let go with one hand. You're like, this guy's going to die. Sure enough, falls, lands half on the stage, and then half on the ground, which is just cement. It's fucking insanity, man. And you've gone to a lot of shows. Have you seen anything like that?
No, I've seen some crazy shit in my day. I've never seen so much wanton abuse of furniture, ever.
It's fucking nuts. It's a good time, though.
Well, it gets me pumped up for this movie because this movie's like a... whatever you described.
It's like an anarchist world, man. Everyone's got their own, and
Griff, what am I saying? You were there too. 1990 was a crazy fucking time.
Yeah,
I remember I was in a gang. You had to survive, Griff. You were in a gang. You were 3, something like that.
Yeah, me and my brother and my sister had a gang.
Because you had to survive, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We made America great again. We're all right now, but it was touch and go back then.
It was. I lived in Detroit at the time, so it wasn't that. I don't remember it being bad. So yeah.
Okay.
We ready for some trailer?
Why don't we do that, Griff? Why don't we?
Wow. Get him a little more excited for this trailer, Murray. Everything.
First of all, I just had a glass of Duda coffee. A mug, I should say, of Duda coffee.
I could tell you.
Because I'm so hyped about this movie!
You can just move away.
Yeah.
You're going to break my table in half by moving it that much.
Well, you just pumped me up. I was that guy, Griff. I was wearing a wig. Yeah, so let's just get to it, man. Let's go off to the far-off future of 1990 with the Bronx Warriors.
In the year 1990, the New York City authorities declared the wasteland known as the South Bronx to be a high-risk area. There would be no further attempt to restore law and order to that notorious borough. The South Bronx had long since been controlled by gangs with such names as the Riders, Scavengers, Ironmen, Tigers, and Sharks. To venture without permission into the territory of a rival power was to risk war. War with no holds barred. War to the death. Only one man had anything to gain from such a war. Only one man could prevent it. Only one man. 1990, the Bronx Warriors.
excellent trailer. Sums everything up. We don't really have to do our job, but we'll still give it our best shot here. We'll give it like 60%, which we had a good discussion about 60% earlier.
60% is more than half, but it's less than 2/3.
I mean, that's just math. I mean, that's facts. You can't deny that unless you deny science.
You know those I can't deny, Griff? I was thinking, while watching this movie, like, say I was in 1990. Yeah, even though I just said before the trailer, I was in a gang, but I really wasn't. I lied. But if I was in a gang, I was thinking, like, what gang would I be? I was wondering what gang you would be. So I got an idea, a question for you.
Okay.
What gang, if you were living in the post-apocalyptic 1990, you had, you can't do it on your own. You got to be in a gang. It's too crazy out there.
Exactly.
What would your gang be called, and like, what would you be about? Like, how would you dress? What would your uniform be? Whatever.
Okay. So here's one I want to pitch you here.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it the Dudicon Infinity. All right.
I like it.
You have to get jumped into this gang, though.
Of course.
Because they got to paralyze your face, basically, so you're always emotionless, like our man Michael Dudikoff is. Dudicon, Dudikoff. That's the gist of this gang.
Okay.
It's all Dudikoff lookalikes. Well, only in the face paralyzation. Okay? So they've got kind of a hive mind thing going on. And so we'll find out about them later. It's kind of more like a scavenger type of deal, where they all just kind of operate together. But they do have like a ninja recon group because, you got to have some kind of...
I would assume if you're patterning your gang after Michael Dudikoff, there'd have to be ninjas involved somewhere.
But here's the thing. They only have the two. They have recon and then they have enforcers. And the enforcers always just wear denim. So... That's all they have. They're scary though, like the scavengers. They come out of nowhere. You don't know when to expect them.
Okay.
And since they're the hive mind, like I imagine they can all communicate. Something about the face paralyzation process allows them all to talk to each other. It's pretty scary. It's pretty cool. I could see myself being in that. Okay. This other one I call the Dead Carries. Okay. And I see myself in this one. I'm going to lead this one. Okay. So, first off, it's only 5. It's only 5 people in this gang. Is it 5? It looks like 5. Now, the first is Lloyd. He's a lovable fuck-up, and he keeps everybody else calm. Okay? He can throw a punch or two, but he just keeps everybody calm.
You said it's called the Dead Carries?
Yes.
Is that a name, Carey? Like Jim Carrey?
Stick with me.
Okay, okay, you're losing me, but okay, bring me back.
So next, there's Fletcher. He's a fast-talking lawyer. He gets the gangs out of situations with his charisma and his
okay, I see where you're going now. Sorry for stepping on your joke.
Okay?
Okay, I get you.
Next, you have Charlie / Hank. Okay? Charlie, I gotta stop saying K like that. I sound like an asshole. Charlie, of course, he's got a split personality. Charlie's kind of a nice guy. He can throw a punch, but then he turns into Hank. Hank's a fucking dick. He basically hulks out, throws punches everywhere. The next one you might recognize is a Jim Carrey character, The Mask. Now, this guy is frightening. He's crazy. He's a wild card. You don't know if he's your best friend or if he's about to gut you.
Okay.
And then me, the fearless leader, as Ace Ventura.
Okay, I was waiting for Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Okay.
You knew it was gonna come to that. What do you got? I got one more that I want to throw on you, but I want to hear yours.
I was thinking, I'm more cerebral kind of person. So I don't know if you've heard, Griff, but if you live on the internet, you would know that Nazis are taking over America, if not the world, right now. They're scary people. So I would call my gang the Grammar Nazis. Now, I know this is controversial to say, Griff, and we might lose some listeners, but I have to say it. I think Nazis are bad people, and I don't care if that upsets a lot of people. All right?
Yeah.
They did a lot of crummy things, and I don't like them.
Okay.
But I understand the power of that imagery, because when you're a gang, the whole point is to scare people. You want to avoid fights, as far as I'm concerned.
That's true.
So we're going to take that imagery, but we're going to we're going to change it to grammar. So when people start talking shit to us, what we do is we correct their grammar, and it just gets them so fucking pissed off. Like, 'cause we're playing mind games. We're like an Andy Sedaris plot.
Okay, I like that.
So like we're like levels beyond that. So they're already defeated by the time like the fists come out because we've broken them mentally.
Okay.
Now our uniform would be we wouldn't have Hitler mustaches. They would be hyphens. So they kind of look like Hitler mustaches, but they're hyphens.
Okay.
Because we're grammar Nazis,
right?
Remember?
Right.
And since it's 1990, I'm going to say we're going to wear a lot of baggy clothes, probably like mustard yellow color, something very 90s.
Was that popular in the 90s?
With black people, it was. I grew up around black people, so I don't know if white people were wearing that, but it was a very hot color among the black community circa 1990.
Okay.
And, yeah, we would just, like, blow people's minds. So like, not only are we kicking ass, we're teaching people.
I'm imagining, like, a Dead Poet Society thing where you're, like, slamming people with, like, street poetry and, like, you're just really confusing them with metaphors, but it's just grammar.
Yeah.
So somebody could come up to you and be like, hey, I'll stick you here, guy.
And I go, don't you mean I will stick you here? I don't know. You said properly grammar. You said proper grammar before.
Oh,
you should have said come at me with a double negative, and I could have corrected you. But yeah, you get the point. We're like, this is dragging out. Fuck this. Griff, lay it on me. Your last gang.
Okay, since this is 1990, this is the last one. I woke up dead of night, and I was like, that's the gang. I call this one a Nickelodeon. Now, this is based on all of our stars, like our live-action stars from Nickelodeon shows. So it's led by a council of Mike O'Malley, Omar Gooding, Kirk Fogg, and Mark Summers. And all of their decisions are based on...
I recognize one name out of all of them.
all their decisions are based on the guidance of Moira Quick from Guts. She was the narrator of the show.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, she guides them, supposedly, through spirit.
Okay.
Well, they have an elite task force, and it's just the kids in the Guts uniforms. They got the helmets and the elbows, and they have spears with, like, the aggro crag at the end of it. And then you got your resource gatherers. Those are our Templars, the kids that play the Legend of the Hidden Temple. And they got the color-coded, and they get in, they find all the gas and the food. And then you have the Double Dares. The kids, with they get in there into the stuff, and they're
a lot of whipped cream.
A lot of whipped cream.
A lot of flags.
Oh, they got so many flags. They get in the boogers, and they get the flags out. So they're out doing recon, and then you have your general army, which is the wild and crazy kids. And oh man, you've seen that one Mad Max movie where they have the boys. What are they called?
War Boys.
The War Boys. That's pretty much the wild and crazy kids, except neon. And they all just scream about how they like to have fun and they want to grow up to be like an astronaut. A Nickelodeon.
Okay, maybe we should have put a little more effort into this bit.
Wow, that's rude.
Well, I'm including myself in them. So.
I think our gangs are dope, but we got to get into some real gangs here.
We do.
All right? And these gangs apparently are featured in the Bronx, which I'm pretty sure was Brooklyn.
Oh, I'm going by the people who made the movie. You're
going
like I was there. I know.
I'm going by the people who made the movie.
Are you saying
too.
Enzo Castellari would not?
I'm saying you read it wrong.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, it's 1990,
yeah.
And we have to see this girl running away.
Well, wait. You're getting ahead. First of all, there was this badass scene. The opening credits is just showing close-ups of these weapons they made.
The old Golden Globus loadout.
A fist with some rings on it. There's like a chick who's got these like dagger things on her fingers.
Yeah.
There's the elbow spike on the elbow spike on the elbow. Obviously, there's a lot of like crazy shit, and they filmed that because it was a rainy day, and the director was like, "Fuck, we got to film something." So that's how they came up with that.
See, that's a fact we can't disagree on.
And pretty dope fucking music. It was playing very 80s kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. What are we doing for the intro?
I don't know. I just grabbed the theme song.
Okay.
So whatever that is.
So we got that to let you know what's good. It's what remind me of the Shokazugi openings where he always like shows all the weapons he's going to use in the movie.
Exactly.
So you're ready. You're like, I can't wait to see someone get killed by that weapon.
And sure, like really quickly, you see that elbow spike come into play. I was happy because I didn't realize that on the first viewing, and then I saw it again.
So then it fades out, and then like Griff was saying, we see this girl. She's in danger. She's running. She's scared. She doesn't know what she's going to do. And then we see these guys who are clearly supposed to be rip-offs of the Baseball Furies from the Warriors, except they were in hockey gear. So we're going to call them the hockey hooligans. They're called the zombies in the movie. I don't know why, because
this is the fucking worst name ever.
Yeah, there actually is a gang later on who look like zombies who are not called the zombies.
Yeah.
But maybe they say, hey, we got the name first, sorry.
They had, like, I mentioned Devo as kind of a reminder. They have, like, a Devo meets Mork or whatever, Mork and Mindy, the alien, because they've got, like, rainbow elbow pads and shit.
I was getting, the costume-wise, a Ace Frehley, like, from the Kiss vibe.
Yeah.
They have that kind of, like, V kind of thing.
Padded, like, weird.
And they're on roller skates, and they have, like, these, they're supposed to be, like, they're probably made out of plastic. They're, like, metal, like, hockey sticks.
They're field hockey sticks.
Yeah. And so they're gonna like rape her, I guess. This is the 80s after all, I'm assuming.
I mean, we learned. I don't think we learned yet, but
no, we know nothing about her at this moment.
No, I mean about the Bronx.
While she's running, there's I don't know because I got the Blu-ray, which is extended. I might have seen a slightly different version than you.
The Blu-ray? Did you mean Laserdisc?
Oh, sorry. What am I talking about? I don't even know what a Blu-ray is.
You're so used to translating for other people to
right,
understand.
Because people don't understand. They get, like, threatened and insecure when I bring up the...
They call you hipster, and you don't even understand what a hipster is.
Yeah, they're like 4K. I'm like, motherfucker, these are 12K. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What do you watch that on?
This is the beauty of Laserdisc. You can watch it on any TV. You don't need a special TV for this shit.
That's amazing.
So I'm watching on my Laserdisc.
Okay.
And I don't, like I said, there might be some discrepancies when we talk because there's like 8 extra minutes on the version. I don't know. You might have seen the version I saw. I mean, I'm not even doing a bit here. So, there's like a little word thing. The Bronx is a no man's land, because chaos in the streets. Only the riders rule, which we learned, first of all, is bullshit. The riders don't rule. Ogre rules.
No, the
Bronx.
riders don't rule it.
But for the sake of argument, that's what it says. So, so she's about to get fucked up by the zombie/hockey hooligans until the riders show up.
Dude. And led by, of course, the most courageous-looking, some kind of touch of ethnicity.
Well, he's Italian.
Giant man. He's Italian?
Well, everyone.
It's an Italian film.
Almost everybody. Yeah, I mean, we might as well just tell everybody if you've seen the New Barbarians, you probably know. But this whole movie's dubbed. Even the American actors.
Yeah.
Fred Williamson does his own voice, but it's dubbed because the way they would do these movies, they wouldn't even have sound.
Yeah.
And they would put it in later on.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
So and so apparently they just got done looting a Halloween USA. Because they got these sweet-ass glow-in-the-dark skulls on the front of their motorcycles. And they have, like Batman, or Spider-Man had it, too. Like, the signal they would shoot out, they have the skull signal.
Yeah.
And so you see the skull, like, light up, appear on this wall. And it's like, oh, shit's going down. The riders are here.
Yeah.
And the hooligans are bitches, so they're scared shitless. And they should be, because the riders fuck their shit up.
Yeah, they scrap a little bit, and we don't know who the good guys are. We don't know if the riders are good guys.
Well, we were just told in the beginning of the movie, they rule the Bronx. So we're, like, thinking, fuck, they must be tough shit.
Yeah.
Man.
So we don't know what's about to happen, but sure enough, they just fucking beat ass. And then our main man here, who goes by the epic name, Trash. I was giving you a minute.
Okay. Yeah, my thing is he's probably trying to reclaim that word, because it's a negative connotation. So he's like, hey, I'm going to be trash. What's up with that?
I don't give a shit. I loved it. I don't need any kind of philosophical reason. I just love that he's called Trash. I loved it.
Well, because he's going to let society judge him. He's like, you can call me trash. Well, I am trash. Fuck you.
Weren't you telling me the actor was 17 years old?
Yes, he was set. This is a story behind Mark Gregory, who only appeared in, I think 5 films or so. And he's never been seen since 1989. Remarkably, right before 1990, isn't it?
Oh.
So maybe he's living off in an alternate dimension where he's actually living like trash. I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, so what the story goes, the guy who we'll meet later, called Blade, he was an actor / stuntman. He was working out in a gym, and he noticed this guy, and he's like, wow, that guy's got star potential. He's like really in great shape. He's like 6'2".
For 17, he looks like he's in his young 20s, but he's ripped as fuck.
Well, first of all, he's the only guy who looks like he's young enough to be in a gang. Everyone else's movie's like middle-aged or older.
Oh, no, everybody else is like the 50-year-old who thinks they're cool and in a biker gang and tells me all about how they have like a sergeant of arms, and it's like, what?
So the guy goes, hey, man, you could be in like a movie. He's like, get the fuck out. He's like, are you kidding? And he's like, no, I'm serious, man. And he's like, all right, and then he met the director, Enzo Castellari, and he's like, you're a star. I'll make you a star. And I think he only worked with Enzo Castellari.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And so a star was born. Marco Gregorio became Mark Gregory.
So
star is born.
We'll sprinkle in some more facts about the movie and everything, but first, he has now him and his gang have fought off the zombies, a.k.a. the roller boys, or roller derby dudes.
Hockey hooligans, whatever you want to call them. Anything but the zombies.
Everything but, the Morks.
Nanu.
And so he offers he's got like a mace kind of looking deal, and he offers it to the girl. And he's like, let's get you back home. Because it's clear.
He's like, let's get you back home. I love the voiceover actor. It's like the most over-the-top, like
a guy doing a Travolta.
And it totally does not fit this actor, but it's great.
No, it doesn't. So he's like, let's get you back over the bridge, back to Manhattan. And she's like, I can't go back there. And he's like, it can't be any worse than here, lady. And she's like, well, you just don't know.
And then they cut away.
And we're going to find out exactly what she's running away
So
from.
I'm assuming this guy's her father, Samuel Fisher. I don't know. They never really elaborate.
Oh, that's weird. His name was Sam Fisher?
Yes.
That's the name of the protagonist for the Splinter Cell series. It's a video game.
Don't know. So
probably based on
he's like, damn it, we got to get her back. Her 18th birthday is going to happen. Because Mr. Fisher, he runs Manhattan Corporation, which, as we alluded to earlier, makes 60% of all the world's arms.
60%, which
is a lot.
As you pointed out, though.
It's not 2/3.
It's more than half, but not quite 2/3.
Right.
We crunched the numbers, guys. Don't even check.
This is where it gets foggy. Because apparently what happens in 1990 is when you become 18, you automatically inherit your father's business no matter what.
Okay.
I think. And so they have to get her back. This is kind of like Escape from New York territory where it's like, we get the president back. We got to get the president's daughter in a way back.
We have to bring that same level of intensity to it.
Right. We need a timer. We need like a deadline.
Our business is a monarchy, damn it, and we can't continue
and
without
the
princess.
I can't count on you guys. Get me Hammer. And then then they just leave it at that.
It's quiet, like everybody in the room. It's full of people, it's yes men, and they're just like, Hammer.
And then it just cuts back. Let's leave it like that. We cut back to Trash and Ann.
Yeah. What? Trash and Ann? Does it cut back to them?
I also want to point out too, because I thought it was so fucking hilarious. In the fight with the hockey hooligans, one of them tries to get away, and then I think Ice, one of Trash's underlings.
It's supposed to be like his right-hand man.
Who looks like, it was funny you say Mark Minnie, because he reminded me of Robin Williams. He looked like Robin Williams with glasses.
He did. He's got the round glasses and a weird bowl cut looking.
And so one guy's getting away and he goes, Shazbot! And he jumps on his motorcycle. And he pushes the button, and these giant switchblades come out from the side.
This was totally Enzo was the director's name?
Yeah.
This is a total Enzo thing because New Barbarians love to do these, and the shot that they do with it, where it's right along the wheel, where you get the. Are you gonna joke around about or make the point that when he first hits the person with the knife, it thuds?
No, I didn't even notice that.
I was like, what was that noise? Because he hits the person for two people on either side of the bike, because of course they were running a perfect bike's length away from each other. Right. He shoots out the blades.
So he kneecaps him and goes right behind the knee.
He gets him right behind the knee, and it goes thunk. And then he comes back around and slashes them, and then it's a normal slash sound. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we got to get back to it. They don't. I mean, we join in on the gang again, but they're rolling up on that beachfront, which they use for about 45 shots.
Right.
And this is where we
it's
get
called the Bronx Beach.
The Bronx, sure it is.
Yeah.
This is where we get that drummer.
Oh yeah. There just happens to be there's going to be a meetup between two gangs: the Riders, which are our gang, and the Tigers.
Yeah.
And so, this is a true story. They didn't set up to have a drummer. There just happened to be a guy there with a drum kit, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be in the movie?" And he's like, "All right." So there's this guy just fucking playing.
I mean, he's not just in the background. They cut to him.
Yeah, this is about a minute long at least of just him playing drums.
The cut I took from it is a minute long.
Okay.
The main cut is probably at least 7 minutes long. This scene is really long.
He's playing fucking Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin and shit.
Yeah.
He's just going crazy on the drum kit.
It's great. He's just got a simple little kit.
And while he's doing that, we notice there's a body impaled on a stake. I think a vampire was
Yeah.
Maybe you're right, because that movie Vampire in Brooklyn, so maybe you're right.
I'm telling you. So I love how the gang form like a bird. They get into a formation where it's you have it's a big M, and you have trash in the front, the center point of the M, and then it goes out, and then it comes back in. Yeah. It was interesting. I wonder what the advantages of that formation. I'm in a lot of gangs here. I expressed them to you, and I want to know the advantages of that formation.
I don't know.
Because maybe it's a good thing to employ.
I don't know, but while that's going on, the new gang, the Tigers, roll up. They were led by Ogre. Nerds! Not that Ogre. Fred Williamson.
Oh, man. And they pulled up in those, fly
Yeah, he had a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
And I love, there's a guy, Ogre's right-hand man, Leech. He, I love this is another great voice. So he's like, hey there. He's lisping or something. He's like, hey, Traff, how you doing?
He's got a weird, almost tiger print pattern on his face.
Yeah, it was some weird thing. He's like, how you doing, Traff? He's not even doing an effeminate gay thing. It's just a guy with a lisp. He's like, how you doing?
Yeah.
And I just love that, the guy's that's the way that guy talks, the guy that did the voice.
Yep.
And then so he's like, yeah, fuck you. I want to talk to Ogre. So he goes up to the Rolls Royce, and then we meet Ogre's right-hand lady, Witch, who's she's got kind of a dominatrix look going on. She's wearing a cape. She's really dramatic.
She looked a little masculine, but
she's like, hey, everyone. I love it. The rival gangs, but they like each other. It's like, hey, Trash, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. And he's just like,
yeah,
I want to talk to Ogre. So he's like, all right, he's right here.
Okay. When every time Trash says Ogre, all I heard was yogurt. So I'm like, did they name a motherfucker Yogurt?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of name discrepancies in this movie. We'll get into later. We're like, is it this name? Is it that name? We looked it up, and it's different on one thing and different on another.
There's a lot of discrepancies.
So,
I like that we're yelling at each other about Bronx and Brooklyn. They couldn't even get names straight.
So we learned that the dead body, the vampire, is Chris, who's a member of the Riders, and so Trash thinks Ogre had him killed. And he's like, and did he have him killed? I don't even remember. And he's just
yeah, Ogre had him killed.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because Lee's like, yeah, man, he killed Chris, and he ate his heart. he's like, and so he's like, hey, I don't like you, killing my guys. And then Ogre comes back. He's like, he had a gizmo, man. And so apparently this is a technical term for a wire.
Yeah.
When you're wired, you got a gizmo, because they keep using the word gizmo. He's like, he doesn't have a gizmo. Yo, he did. I did you a favor.
Again, I don't even think this this technology had any other name than Gizmo. That was the technology.
Yeah. So, Trash, there's no fucking way nobody in my crew would ever rat me out. And then we see, in the background, Ice, a Robin Williams looking guy, kind of looked he's kind of like the guy from American Ninja biting his nails. He's just looking super suspicious.
I don't remember Ice ever looking that nervous or anything.
No, I'm exaggerating.
Okay.
But.
Because he always...
But they did, make it an effort to go in on him. Cause there's something up with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he, aside from just being a fucking, little taint tart, he's horrible. I didn't like him.
Well, he did a great job then. You're not supposed to like him.
Exactly. No. This movie is top notch. It's great. Seriously, my Instagram post today, I was just like, if you haven't seen it, you need to do yourself a favor.
It's on YouTube, so it's free if you want to watch it.
It's on YouTube. It's on Prime. It's on Shatterhouse, whatever fucking Hair Metal Sean told us, whatever fancy yacht stream he has.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's available. It's an hour and 30 minutes of pure fucking motorcycle heaven. So,
we learn that Chris was a rat, and he wasn't working for Ogren, he was working for Manhattan Corporation.
Yeah.
And because they're looking for this girl, and for some reason, they can't get in. The Bronx is a no man's land. We pointed that out. So they can't get in there to find out where she is. They just know she's in the Bronx. Because I don't you think she's been in here a few months? Because she already had her. I can't believe they're going to give her own motorcycle next day. So this might have been a few months later.
It could have been.
So
these movies, they don't need to explain things. They don't need to let time pass. They're just gonna.
Well, people are basically taking orders from her like that. So I got to think she's
She quickly stepped into
which is probably why Ice fucking turns on.
Exactly.
Trash.
She steps Ice imagines himself as a 1B, and obviously Trash is our 1A. He comes to find out he's a distant 2. And
women they come between guys all the time,
and becomes obviously the 1B, and then we even find out later there's a 1C.
Yes.
So
now we can tell there's something up with Ice. So Ice, because he's trying to deflect. He's like, "No, man, it's the Tigers, man. They killed Chris."
Yeah, they have a big
we got to fight them. He's like, because fucking Trash. He's more he likes to chill and he's like a chess player. He likes to just see everything lay out and then make his move. So he's absorbing information right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, it feels weird. And he's also from his gut. He's always thinking that way. And Griff, first of all, before we go on, we have to talk about this. I don't even know the proper words to describe the way Mark Gregory walks.
Yeah.
It's the most. I don't even think effeminate is the right word because it's weirder than that. It's like he walks like Steven Seagal runs.
I've seen women walk, and I've never seen a woman walk like him.
He walks like a T-Rex kind of. It's weird.
He walked like somebody put a broom somewhere between his butt and his skull, and it went straight through.
I don't even think that because it's like no, what he moves like. He's got the moves like Jagger. He moves like, just imagine the way Mick Jagger does that funky chicken dance on stage. That's how he walks.
Oh my God. That is wonderful. And there should be a funky chick.
So apparently, what was it, Maroon 5? Was that the band that did moves like Jagger? They were inspired by this movie.
Maybe. Yeah. That had to be it.
It was originally the moves like Trash, but it didn't flow a little bit.
Moves like Trash, just doesn't hit the syllable count.
Right.
So
it's this way. You got to watch the movie just to watch Mark Gregory walk. I guess apparently they hired some real Hell's Angels for extras, and they were giving him a lot of shit about the way he walks too, which he didn't appreciate.
Several scenes are very obviously filmed in Brooklyn.
Oh, you wrote that, you fucking prick.
I wrote that.
You wrote that while I was talking. You furiously typing.
Yeah, you guys all heard me typing here. Fucking prove my point. So now that we have the gang all talking about, oh shit, was he a rat? Was he not a rat? We're gonna go ahead and cut to Sam Fisher and find out he very well was in fact a rat, but not for the Tigers like Ice was trying to propose.
Right.
He was a rat for Manhattan Corporation, and after the whole Hammer controversy, we can't get Hammer. He's like, no. I put my faith in Hammer. And they're like, Hammer's a madman. He's from the Bronx.
Right.
And he's just like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I want him
in there. He knows
the
mindset of the people that are in the Bronx. That's the best, person you need.
Who else would you send in there but the man who knows the Bronx? And the guy's like, yeah, but he's got his own axe to grind.
Right.
And, wow. I wonder if that's going to be a little bit of foreshadowing.
So, cut back to Trash and Ann. A little pillow talk.
Trash Ann.
Trash Ann.
That is the most adorable couple's name ever. Trishan.
And they're having a little heart-to-heart, and she's kind of like, well, you go into it, Griff. Tell her what she's saying.
Oh, man. Well, I forget the lead up to it, but eventually it breaks down to like I think he was telling her like, no, you should go back home.
No, I think it was the opposite. I think she's like, I'm causing trouble. I want to leave, and he's like, no, we live in trouble. We don't. I want you to stay with me, basically.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm causing too much trouble. Ice is pissed off me.
Chris I'm the reason that Chris died. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And shit, I don't remember. I can't help you here.
Okay, well, basically, she just lets Trash know, I belong to you, Trash.
Yeah.
So we know that their bond is solid. They're not breaking up. All right, they love each other. It's Romeo and Juliet. It's a modern day Romeo and Juliet, dude.
Maybe the reason why we don't see like any physical romance between those two was because he was a minor.
Maybe.
Didn't you mention that the daughter was the director?
The daughter was Enzo Castorelli's
actual daughter.
Yes, because he just couldn't find someone for the role, and he's like, "Fuck, you play it." She's like, "All right,
fuck, you play it."
Well, that's the way they move, man. They're like, "We gotta get this movie out in 6 weeks,
dude."
We already booked the theaters in a month.
I'm glad you said it. 6 was the magic number for 3 of these movies, the trilogy. This movie,
Escape from the Bronx,
and
New Barbarians,
all done in 6 weeks. Fucking write it, edit it, ship it, fuck it.
It probably takes 6 weeks to do like one scene in a Marvel movie.
Fucking Marvel. And
so we cut back. The cops are trying to infiltrate. So they got in their UPS van.
What are the cops thinking?
And
this is Ryder territory.
And they're scared shitless, dude. They're like, oh, fuck, man. You get what you said. Like, it's Ryder territory, dude.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to show, like, they're playing chicken with each other. Like, I'm not afraid. Oh, you're not afraid? Like, kids playing Are You Afraid? Right. Like, challenging the other to, like, knock on the weird neighbor's door.
Right.
So the guy's like, watch, I'll floor it at him. And he's like, do it. He gets a shotgun out.
Well, this is where I mean, they're kind of like a fun-loving gang, too. It's like hijinks. There's nothing really bad about them.
Yeah.
Because we meet our buddy Blade, who, like you pointed out in the notes, looks like Freddie Mercury. Mm-hmm. Played by...
Oh, his name was Blade?
Yes, his name was Blade. You said Freddie, but it's Blade.
Yeah, I called him Freddie.
Was it Freddie Mercury? I saw Freddie, and I who the fuck is he talking about?
That's what I meant,
okay.
Freddie Mercury.
Well, because he's got a mustache. Yeah. A big one. And he wears like a leather headband.
And he always has the big glasses that Freddie's known for wearing.
I don't remember having glasses. Do you have glasses?
Yeah, like the sunglasses.
Okay, all I remember is he had a leather headband with studs on it, like a skinny headband. Yeah. Really weird. Played by, if you will listen to our episode of New Barbarians, played by Mako, the guy with the mohawk who gets his head run over by Scorpion.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interaction between these movies.
I think the writers were all supposed to kind of like look like musicians because he kind of looked like Freddie Mercury. Ice kind of looked like a Lennon type.
John Denver, kind of that.
Yeah, maybe. But the
wussy shit. You can tell he's just a fucking punk by the way he looks.
Yeah.
You don't trust that guy.
And then you got Trash, who's kind of got like a Ramone thing going on.
And so Blade, he sneaks up on the back of their UPS truck, climbs on it, spray paints shit on their front their windshield.
Funny,
And he did a good job because he's doing it backwards.
Dude, he's doing it backwards. He fucking nails it.
And they're like, ah! And it was just, and then I think they just run off the cops. The cops just bitch out.
Yeah, the cops just kind of like, oh, we're gonna leave now.
It's a very, very slow. So they're going like 10 miles an hour, and the reason that is because they couldn't afford to like block off like streets.
Yup.
So they had to like run down streets. So we're like in no man's land. You see cars in the background like going through intersections and shit. So it was a very lame ass fucking.
While they're going about their hijinks, we get our first cut of. Well, this mysterious figure, and of course we
have mailman.
We have a drunk man who calls out, "Hey, mailman, I got some mail for you." And of course he's like,
no. It was like, hey, because he's got his dick out. We don't know. I'm assuming he's peeing, but he might be jerking off. I don't know. It's like, hey man, you got a love letter for me. It's like some really bad white guy doing a black guy voice because, like you said, it's all dubbed, and he's like, and Hammer. What is he, 70 at least? He's
wow, you think that Bronson's like 55, but this man's 70?
Yes. He's rocking the mustache, and this is, I think he's Shade's dad.
He's got to be, I think Shade's dad is probably right.
Because Shade's, of course, from Hard Ticket to Hawaii, our favorite character of all time.
All time.
So he's got the mirrored shades, and he's got the grin like, he's like, so bad.
He's got the grin that curves the whole fucking earth.
And so he's carrying like a package, like a poster. You'd have a poster, and it's like a little cylinder packages.
Yeah.
And he's just snooping around because they're trying to infiltrate this. Because even though there's no guards, it's really locked down tight for some reason in the Bronx. Nobody can penetrate it.
Clearly, this man really knows his way around. So I wonder if he's that.
So he's snooping around. He finds out where they're keeping in, where the main like headquarters is for the riders. And before he can do anything, he automatically, unfortunately, breaks in on I think her name was Sharon, and Speedy was the other guy. These two people making out and fucking on a
staircase.
And they're like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here." And he turns around. Oh shit! That cylinder package, special delivery, blows him away with the shotgun that he has inside of it.
So he takes them both out. And
brutal fashion.
You think, this is rider territory. There's got to be so many people around there. He's got plenty of time to walk up.
He's like a fucking ninja, dude. He's like sneaking in like all through their territory. He's bombed out fucking building they're in.
Holy shit. I can't think of his name right now, but American Ninja, not Dudikoff. What's the other ninja? Enter the Ninja?
Oh, Franco Nero?
Is it Franco Nero?
No, he does look a lot like Franco Nero.
He
very
looks
out
like
of shape looking old guy.
Well, he's probably a friend.
But those
of
mirror
Franco
shades just bring it all together. You're
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, this guy could murder me.
So he's got plenty of time to very slowly walk up and place this very obnoxious tiger ring. Oh, I wonder what that could be a foreshadow of.
I don't know.
And then he has more than enough time to kind of get a little away from the crime scene. And so this, all the boys, all the riders have a chance to run into the room and see the dead people. They don't notice the ring, even though it's fucking ginormous. But they go straight out to looking for whoever entered their territory. And so you get a little bit of a scrap. Nothing's really, happens here. Just a couple shots fired. He jumps out a window where he gets into...
Yeah, he jumps out like... awful like stuntman switch, like a 15-foot window. He dives out, and then they show this old guy jump down,
jumps into
a semi
that happened to be waiting, and he's clearly not driving it. So he's got a buddy,
right? And then of course the drunk comes back. Hey man, this neighborhood's going to hell.
You guys need to slow down on these roads.
And so they do
different voices. Doesn't matter.
And they do slow down because we get another slow speed chase where the riders follow them and they run the semi off the road.
Hey guys, we really need to go catch up to these guys.
Well, you forget to be. Hey, you guys! Hey, it's like, everyone sounds like Fonzie.
Hey, you guys! If I start trying to do a Fonzie voice, I go straight into Chicago.
So they run the semi off the road and they're like, oh shit, they're gonna fuck up Hammer, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Hammer's not in the semi.
He's too slippery.
Right.
So they're like, well, fuck. Hot dog? Hot dog.
Yes, we meet Hot Dog.
Hydra Phil would be losing his fucking mind right now to know there's a character named Hot Dog.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're like, Hot Dog, what the fuck are you doing on our territory? Get out of the truck. And he's like, what do you fucking assholes want? He's getting a little fresh with them. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, well, he's got nothing to lose. He's broke.
Like a hot dog, he's sweating.
Sure.
Okay.
And so they grill him, Griff. And they're like, "Yeah, you." Like, he's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm just hauling nothing because there's nothing connected to my rig."
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, well, just beat it then."
You want to get in here and take a look, trash, guys? Go look around.
And you can tell Hot Dog's all man because there's some centerfolds hanging up in the back of his bed.
Did you notice where those centerfolds are from? Those were our stars from fucking Picasso Trigger.
Gossip Trigger.
Picasso Trigger.
Okay. I heard. I don't know. I'm like this movie. I'm hearing different names.
Yogurt.
So, is it Donna Spear? Holy shit!
Yeah. They're trying to connect it to another universe.
Yeah.
He's like, I got my own universe, and I want to kind of parallel it with it.
This is what happens when the agency doesn't stop the bad guys. We get chaos.
We get chaos in the Bronx.
So they're like, all right, you can go, Hot Dog. We stay the fuck off our territory. I also need to point out, Hot Dog's wearing an orthopedic shoe. He's like got a Frankenstein boot on one foot.
Yeah.
He's got like one leg longer than the other, so it kind of makes him sympathetic, and you're like, feel sorry for the guy.
I felt sorry for him. I mean, no hot dog should be grilled that hard. You got to perfectly grill those dogs.
So they go back to their headquarters, and then Ann goes, hey, look at this shitty, gaudy ring here. It's got a tiger on it. And then, of course, Ice is like, see? It's fucking tigers, man. I've been telling you. And, like, Trash is like, wait, no, let me think about this. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. So while he's thinking about it, we have, as we learned in the movie Stone Cold that we covered, underrated episode, by the way.
Underrated.
That when a biker dies, they must have a Viking funeral.
Yeah.
So Speedy and whatever the chick's name was, they set him on fire. And then they had this very touching moment. They drive up to the beachfront, the Bronx beach.
The same beach before.
Because they all grab like a handful of ashes. And then they throw the ashes and they just go clunk right on the ground. They don't even go anywhere near the water. It's just like, but it's touching still because the whole gang cares about Speedy and what's her name.
I just need to point out, during the burning eulogy, Trash delivers a nice little speech. Enzo loves his speeches. There's a better speech later on, but if you listen to the New Barbarians, there's plenty of fucking amazing speeches that we do a nice reenact.
Another underrated episode, guys. Check it out.
Horribly underrated. But in this, Trash doesn't quite have that same cadence that what's his name had from New Barbarians. So his eulogy.
One? Are you talking about one?
Yeah.
Okay.
His eulogy is just, bad things just happen in the Bronx.
Bad things just happen in the Bronx.
He shrugs. The Curb Your
Forget
Enthusiasm.
about it.
Curb Your Enthusiasm music starts up, and then they go out to the shore to throw out the ashes.
So we cut back to Hammer. He's talking to his bosses. They're like, Hammer, don't hurt him. And he's just like, hey, they can't touch this. And then and he's like, I'm too legit to quit. I can't stop. And they're like,
you don't laugh at any of my dumb jokes, but you know what? I'm giving you a good chuckle for that shit. That is Trash.
So, as you're okay.
Okay.
So he's just like
Hammer.
They're like, Hammer, we're bringing you back in. No, I have to do it my way because as we all know, these lone wolf guys got to do it their way.
This is a Bronson. This is a Punisher. He's got to.
Like, do you want her or not? I have to do it my way.
Yeah.
And then is this continuation of the thing where he says he's just an asshole who thinks he's God?
Yeah, that is because Sam Fisher's assistant's just like, you got to be careful about him. He's got a serious God complex.
He's from the Bronx. God. Of course he thinks he's some shit.
Everyone from the Bronx apparently thinks they're
so
good.
Cut back to the writers' territory.
The whole gang is like hanging out. And
Ice is still pressing for like attacking, going to war with the Tigers.
Exactly. He's like, right now, preemptive strike on the Tigers. He knows that they're just having a nice little get-together with piano playing and wine drinking. So he's like, this is the time to strike.
And still, Trash is like, no, I'm going to let this play out a little bit. He probably got some advice from Ann. They probably talked about it. Yeah. Ann's like, well, while you're doing that, I need to have some alone time.
So she's already mastered the motorbike.
Yeah.
She's out just cruising, handling it like a champ, just whipping turns
you're only going
at
10
90
miles an hour. She's just like...
I was going to say she's whipping turns at 90 miles an hour, but
nobody,
she wasn't.
Nobody goes 90 miles an hour.
This whole movie is basically done at a speed.
Everyone's driving at the speed limit because there are actually cops on the streets where they're filming.
This is true.
So she decides to go back, for some reason, to the place where she almost was raped and murdered by the hockey hooligans, the zombies.
Yeah, she goes right back through
But because the Bronx Beach is so damn nice, you got to go there.
It's just so nice. But while she's going out there, we're going to have another meetup because we know that Hot Dog and Hammer, had a little meeting, and now they're going to have a second meeting where Hammer is going to push Hot Dog a little further. He's like, I need you to get me a meeting with Ice.
Right. Well, we learned that Hot Dog doesn't want to do this, but he's broke.
Yeah,
he needs the money because he's like, Hammer, I need some money.
His orthopedic shoes wearing down. He wants to be back level with,
And so he's not a bad guy. He's just desperate situation.
Man, he's on the rocks, man.
So now we know what Hammer's doing. So we got to cut back. Trash follows Ann to the beach, and we learn some stuff about why they want Ann so bad. She's the future president of Manhattan Corporation, so they got to find her. And hold on a second, I got ahead of myself. We only go. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about it.
Wow.
We're going through. You motherfucker. So hot dog. I was gonna say hot dog and hamburger.
You know what? That's a good nickname for the two.
Hamburger. If I ended my corny joke with hamburger, would you like it then?
Yes.
So, hot dog and hammer are talking. So, this is an exposition dump with hot dog and hammer. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. So, we got to find her, and hot dog's like, "You're playing with fire, Hammer." He's like, "I know. I love it. I love it." So then we cut back to the beach where Trash and Ann are talking.
Yeah.
And then we learn that Manhattan Corp makes 60% of the world's arms, and Manhattan Corp is powerless without Ann. We don't know why, but they are.
Again,
she says so.
It's somehow a monarchy-ruled gang. Or,
and once you turn 18, it doesn't matter if your father's alive or dead. Once you turn 18, you get the business.
I mean, the Trump kids are fucking retarded. Excuse me. The Trump kids barely have a brain amongst the two of them, but they're somehow running that corporation. I guess it's not a real corporation. Anyways.
And she's just like, I gotta get away from you. I'm putting too many lives at risk. And then Trash has this very touching monologue.
Oh, my God. The speech I've been telling you, Enzo has to deliver.
So, Trash goes, nonsense. We were born dead. Life means nothing. We live with death every single day. Death walks with us. Death rides and sleeps with us. We carry its smell under our skin. And then something, dying for you would give my life meaning. Forget about it. Bada bing, bada boom. And so she's like, "Oh, Trash, I love you.
I'm yours, Trash. Put me in your bin. Let's get into that truck." It's garbage talk.
Yeah. That's trash. Hamburger. So we cut back. So while that's going on, the hockey hooligans, they're not resting on their laurels. They're putting this shitty, flimsy barricade of cardboard boxes.
The skating skanks.
Across the roadway. Even though there's clearly another roadway they could take, they take the road the more traveled.
The road they've already been jumped on.
Yes.
2 or 3 times.
Yes. And so, as we learned in American Ninja, we thought a net isn't a very good way to capture anybody, but it worked for this one because the zombies have a net and they catch Trash in it and they beat the shit out of them.
They fucking wreck Trash. They trash with the net.
Time to take out the trash is what they said.
Of course, they high-five after that beautiful one-liner.
And while they're doing that, they kidnap Ann because they know she's valuable for some reason.
Yeah,
Well, I know. Okay, well, that's later on, but they know they need her.
Yeah, but it's, I want to point out about Ann at this point. She's been in the Bronx. Do you want to call it 3 days or 3 months?
Somewhere in between.
Okay, somewhere in between.
More than halfway, but less than 2/3 of the way.
Hey, meet me halfway. Oh, boy, sorry about that. So she's got she's still got her, beautiful styled 80s hair. She's got a nice clean vest on, everything.
She had a leather vest, so you can tell she's in a gang.
Yeah, she got a nice, finely.
What was up with
vest.
We're talking about vest. What was up with Trash's vest? It was the most deep V vest I've ever seen.
It wasn't a normal vest where it's
it's totally open. And she has petroleum jelly all over his chest.
Naturally, of course, they had to get a minor to apply the petroleum jelly because he's a minor himself.
They had one of his mother had to do it.
His guardian had to do it. Oh my God!
So as we get sidetracked, so Trash gets back to. Does he go back? He goes back to the trash turf.
Yeah, they're just he'll never get out of that net, so we can just bugger off.
Yeah. And Ice is he's just hell-bent on this. We gotta go to war with the Tigers. And our buddy Blade, the only guy really loyal to fucking to Trash.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we gotta listen to what Trash says. I don't have this bad feeling about it. He knows what's up. He's a bad feeling about Ice. So his suspicions are off. He's like, I gotta watch Ice.
Yeah.
So Trash is like, no, we're gonna talk to Ogre because he knows it's real because he just got that exposition dump about the Manhattan corporations. He knows what's really going on. He's like, we need to unite the gangs of the Bronx and take on the Man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to Ogres, and this is where we get into a nice little Warriors ripoff.
A very nice Warriors
where they have to travel across all these different gang territories to get to Ogres territory.
Can I go ahead and read out these names?
You do it.
All right, here we go. We got the Jackals, the Tappers, the Scavengers, the Sharks, the Bumblebees, the Sirens, and of course, the Zombies.
Of course. And so we cut. That's going on. We cut to the zombie headquarters. So where's Anne? She's tied up at the zombie headquarters. And this is where we meet another character. Of course, you guys remember him best as the sodomizing maniac 1 from New Barbarians.
Yeah.
But in this movie, he's playing. We haven't figured it out. He's either playing a character named Golem or Golan.
This closed captioning for the movie has printed him as Golem.
Okay, that makes more sense because you got an ogre and a golem would make more sense.
That would make.
But I
sense.
prefer Golan because we're going Globus
Theater. But he is on IMDb credited as Golan.
Yeah.
So.
And he's called in the movie Golem by some people and Golan by others. So
again,
we're going with Golan.
Names are fucking just freeballing it here.
So you can tell this guy's dangerous because he's rocking the most fiercest black scorpion braid I've ever fucking seen.
Dude, that was insane. I didn't know if that was a black scorpion or some kind of like.
Well, it was a variation because it wasn't a braid technically because it was a loose, but it was still like a ponytail.
Okay.
And it definitely wasn't Nang Chen because this guy's evil to the core.
Yeah.
And he's he's basically like a modern day samurai. He's got like a weird Ace Frehley meets samurai outfit. I don't know what that has to do with zombies either, but that's his look.
I mean, his boys have white and rainbow on. He's got like the Thriller kind of look to him, and Ace Frehley, like everything else you're mentioning. Scorpion, it's all over the place.
And so we see Anne's tied up, and we're seeing that much like going back to American. I never knew how many correlations this movie had in American Ninja because there's a like a ninja training ground in American Ninja. This is a hockey hooligan zombie training place where they just roller skate around
very fast,
yes.
So fast.
Yes.
This is faster than the
Yeah,
motorbikes.
faster. And I don't know. Like sword fighting with their fucking
they're sparring. They're doing some live action role play. They're training.
They're LARPing. They're LARPing it up.
It's cool, man. They got this.
And so, cut back to Trash. They just entered the Tappers, or I like to call them Jazz Hands band, a Jazz Hands gang, I should say.
Yeah.
Because this gang, they wear, going back to Ace Frehley, they have kind of like Ace Frehley makeup on, except it's red and silver.
Yeah.
And
I think they all had their own style.
Okay, well, it all look like Ace Frehley to me, but
no, they all look like Ace Frehley. Like they had the same style, but they had different colors. I'm sorry.
And they're all wearing bowler hats, like silver bowler hats, right?
Yep.
And they got. I made a mistake. I was talking about them last week about it. I thought they were carrying bolos and they were like holding them taut. No, they're holding canes.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And so. Their move is much like the Grammar Nazis, where we get in your head.
Yeah,
they get in your head by dancing. So they start doing some tap dancing.
Yeah, you think they're weak, and there is like a nice little jazzy number going.
A little bit of cabaret. This is where the cabaret comes in.
Yeah,
and it worked because Trash is like mesmerized. He's like, "What the fuck am I? What is this?" And they're a little scared.
I mean, they're like a little overconfident too, because they're like. These guys put a little more time into the choreography than they do their murderography. And he's like, boys, go ahead and feast.
And before that can happen, we meet the
no, his boys get beat up.
Do they?
Yeah,
I didn't think a fight happened because
Trash just stands by, but his boys get beat up.
Okay, his boys get beat up.
He only has the two guys with him, and they both get like knocked down.
I don't even remember. I don't remember the fight. I just remember the
golden
leader,
bowler herself.
Yes, a black woman, tiny black woman with a golden bowl. So she's the boss.
And it's steel. He flicks it.
Yes, even though it's clearly plastic. And she's wearing all gold. I didn't care enough to even learn what her fucking character's name was because she's just in this one scene. and she's just like apparently her and Trash have some kind of history.
Yeah,
and she's just like she's like
when he was 16.
I always loved you, Trash. You can go through there.
Yeah, he explains it to her like, look, I can't do it.
Looky,
I gotta get to the other side of Brooklyn. Did I do it?
No, that was very Chicago.
Yeah, I thought so.
And
but he's like, I gotta get to the other side of the Bronx. Fast.
Oh, no, a little better. and so she's like, all right, you got passage. So
hooked on accents with Griff.
So then they let me check. So we cut back to Ice talking with Hot Dog. Little did he know Blade was following him.
Yeah, because Ice kind of finally catches wind that Hammer wants to talk.
The
to
General,
him.
as Hammer calls him mockingly, because he wears kind of like the medals and shit on his like army jacket.
Yes, exactly. And he does have like a nice army jacket on.
And so they're having a little meeting. They want to frame Trash.
Yes,
for a murder. And
Ice is just like, well, here's the funny thing. Trash was going to meet up with the ogre. So
like, perfect.
2 birds, 1 stone. He's like, well, let me pack you some heat. Let me get some heat up that pack.
So they give him a little Luger. And because apparently guns are scarce in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Even though America, we're like armed to the teeth here, but.
It's true, but in the Bronx, apparently Obama went there and said no guns. Snapped his finger.
Took their Bibles and their guns.
Yeah.
And that's why it became a no man's hell.
That's exactly
You take guns away from Americans, and this is what happens, people.
It goes to hell. And then you have the Bronx.
He gives him a gun. Blade's watching all this from hiding.
Yeah.
And by the way, before this happens, when Ice just takes off and like Blade follows him, the actor who plays Ice like wipes out on his bike. He's going 10 miles an hour, but he still wipes out. And they left it in the movie. Like that was not meant to happen.
God, that's great.
So did Ice see Blade?
Hot Dog notices Blade because he's kind of like Hot Dog's super nervous. He's sweating salty bullets. I mean, not his sweat, but he's a hot dog man. So he's
well. First of all, Hammer's like, I need something to Trash's to seal the deal.
Yeah,
and then he goes, oh yeah, sure. And like Ice just walks out and grabs a piece of junk out of like right next to the truck. He's like, here you go. And it just happens to look exactly like the weapon that Trash uses.
Very convenient.
It's like a 3-foot long pipe with like a sharpened end.
Yeah, you would think like the Riders, who are this prestigious gang in the Bronx, would have like unique weapons, but no, you can just find it anywhere on the fucking streets.
It's like trash.
It's just like trash. So Hot Dog's noticing in his mirror that Blade is peeping in, and he's like, "Hey guys. Three's a pleasant number, but 4's a fucking crowd. We got a little peeper over here." And Ice just like, I'll fry that Blade. He's got his mind on hot dogs because his name's Hot Dog. So,
well, no Ice.
What did I say?
I'll freeze. I don't know. I'll freeze the Blade. I don't know.
I'll freeze the Blade.
Everybody. What did Arnold Schwarzenegger say? It's Mr. Freeze. Put in one of those jokes.
I don't know.
So while that's going on,
this movie really didn't have one-liners, did it?
No, it didn't. It was a very straightforward fucking movie. They took it seriously.
So you're welcome for all the punch-up on one-liners that we're providing you.
So we cut back. Now Trash and the gang are going through scavenger territory. Now this is where a gang should be called the Zombies because they're wearing or the Mummies. Because they're wearing like rags and they got like dusty powder all on their face and shit. And you can tell they're the orphans of the Bronx.
They're the real fucking survivors of the Bronx. Everyone else is thriving. They're the only ones who are actually having a hard time.
Right. Well, because they're like in the Warriors, they're the orphans. Like that's their gang. Like the gang only losers go to. But
really, that was the premise of the Warriors.
The band, no, the gang, the orphans.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah.
So there's they actually take out one of Trash's gang. They stab him multiple times.
Yeah.
And then does the fight break out? I don't even remember.
They have a little skirmish with them, but
they get away.
They're fucking. They sent like 2 scavengers, maybe 3. So they frag those scavgy
Okay, yeah, they get away. So while that's going on, Blade is trying to find Trash, and he knows they know where he's going. So he winds up in the scavengers' territory after Trash had taken off.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, our boy Blade gets killed.
Well, I mean, we're pretty sure he does. He flashes some fucking amazing moves. He's got they send 2 scavengers to fight Trash and his 2 guys. They send 6 to fight Blade. And Blade is going toe-to-toe.
They thought it was Wesley Snipes' Blade. That's who they thought it was.
Oh, that makes sense. Blade's coming. Oh, shit, Wesley Snipes? Put your tax papers away. He'll try to evade them. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
That was a stretch.
That was another swoosh from the three-point
so
land.
It takes 6 people, but that's enough. 6 is enough to kill him. And so I love there was very a lot of creative, because they were literally in, I guess, I'll cut you some slack. They're in Brooklyn apparently, even though all of Fred Williamson scenes were filmed in Rome, by the way.
I know,
but
they contractually had to do that.
Well, I would too. I'd rather film in Italy than fucking the bombed out Bronx or Brooklyn or whatever.
For whatever Italian credits, they had to film half of it in Italy.
Okay,
at least.
so you got to remember, this is like New York, Brooklyn in the early '80s, where shit was bombed out. It looked like a war zone. It looked
every scene you see in this movie is legit. No dressing.
Right.
They didn't close down
It looks like
anything.
the neighborhood Bronson was living in Death Wish 3, even though that was in England.
Yeah.
And so there's this great scene where they're walking, and then it's a long shot, and they go down a sewer thing, and you can see them actually going down the sewer because everything's open up, and then they're crawling through it's supposed to be like a sewer thing, but it's not.
Scavengers.
So, cause I'm just pointing that out because they use that same scene 3 times in the movie.
They do. Use
They're I really like this scene. I'm gonna use it again.
They reuse it. They reuse a lot of scenes.
Yeah, there's another scene where there's a complete circle cut out of the ceiling, and they love showing people staring down through this hole.
Yes, they do, and that's in Tiger's place. He's got a castle.
Ogre's place. It's the Tiger headquarters.
I'm sorry, Tiger headquarters / Ogre's place.
So I guess Hammer
I mentioned that. We're
Hammer is doing a cat and mouse thing. He's following. He goes down this drain too. The same thing that Trash did. He's following because he wants. Did he want to murder Ogre to frame? Is that the whole thing?
I don't know. He was basically trying to get both of them. That seemed to be his axe to grind. See, I'm bringing that back.
I don't get it.
Because Sam Fisher's assistant told him Hammer has his own axe to grind.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I was thinking you'd use a hammer metaphor, but okay. So we finally get to see Tiger's territory, and it's fucking amazing, dude. There's fucking music playing, there's pianos, there's drums.
Think about one of the Star Trek episodes when they go back to the Victorian age and they have that Q guy and he's playing the beautiful music and it's all Victorian.
I don't watch
theme,
Next Generation,
dancing.
So
That's the original Star Trek, bro.
You said Q. Q was part of Next Generation.
He was also in Next Gen, but he came from original.
Okay, whatever. Full of shit. He came from Brooklyn. So it's beautiful, man. Why? Because Ogre's really the guy that runs fucking. He's the Duke of New York A #1.
He is Duke of New York A1. I'm a little disappointed they didn't try to
by the way,
do their own version of that.
I'm gonna try to grow a Fred Williamson mustache. That was a pretty sweet. I hate mustaches, but that was pretty sweet.
His mustache was amazing. It had kind of a Batman thing going on.
It was very sharp. You could cut somebody with the edges of a mustache,
dude.
And we also learned that Ogre is actually a benevolent ruler because he's getting all this shit like gasoline and food, and he's going to give it to the people in the area. He's not just about himself.
That's what was happening in that. Okay, because when I watched it the second time, I was like, I thought he was sending people out to get gas, and I was like, you have all that gas. Right there,
he was
man.
sending them out to give away.
He's
he's got a beautiful blue pirate shirt on.
Dude, he's looking great. Chest is just wide
petroleum
open.
jelly glistening.
He's hiding those nips because he doesn't want to get all of his people too aroused. But
And apparently, because according to IMDb, I always thought Fred Williamson was tall, but I guess he had to stand on an apple cart or apple box while he was like talking to like Trash, because Trash was a really tall guy.
No, Trash is tall as fuck. He's an ostrich man.
He's like a baby giraffe. That's how he walks.
He was a giraffe turned human. That's why he walks weird.
Okay, that makes sense. So Hammer still following Trash.
Yeah, he's just keeping an eye on him. He's a loose cannon at this point. He's just mad with power. He's murdering people left and right. He's killing scavengers. He's killing tigers. Dude, he's having a great time. You could tell he's loving. He's Bronson in the Bronx.
Right. And so Rumble in the Bronx. And he's rumbling, and to top it off, he kills one of the tigers with Trash's signature.
Yeah, because as Trash and who did Trash have with him? Ann?
He had Ann.
Ann.
And he had somebody else, but they got killed by the scavengers.
Yeah, exactly. So Trash and Ann get into the tiger territory, and they're just walking through, and Disco comes out. I think that was his name. Okay. I mean, Trash can't pronounce names. So
no, I think it was Leech. I think it was Heather. How you doing?
It definitely wasn't Leech.
Okay, you're right.
This guy had like a fro.
You're right, because this guy gets... Okay, now it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
so this guy comes out, and he's got his revolver pointed right at their heart, and he's like, "Hey there, Trash. What did you do? What are you doing here? Trash collection's not till Thursday, and it's Tuesday."
And is that where Hammer comes out and kills him?
And so he's explaining, he's calming down the situation. Hammer is behind Disco, and he's got the identical weapon that fucking Trash uses.
Right. And then he goes, "Death to Disco!" And then he stabs him through the heart.
And he fucking chucks it through his heart, man. He doesn't get that close. He chucks it.
Oh, that's like a javelin toss?
Dude, Disco hits the floor face
Disco
first.
is dead, people.
Shoots his gun off, alerts everybody in Tiger territory. And
hit the alarm.
Trash's face just goes white. And this is an Italian man, so how do you get the pale off that? And so Hammer's just like, "Hey there, Trash. It's going to be a stinky Thursday, isn't it?" And he fucking books it.
He does? They don't. Is this? Do they talk later? Because I know they have a.
They have a quick dialogue in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
So he takes off, but before he does, he kills like 4 scavengers, blows one guy's head off. He's like, "Ah ha 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 ha!" and just shooting like a madman.
Yeah.
And while that's going on, Ogre finds Trash.
Yeah. And he's like, "What are you doing wasting my boy?"
And he's like, "I didn't do it, hey." And so he explains the plot that Hammer's behind to Ogre. And Ogre kind of is like, "Hey, man."
Ann can't be with them. I don't know why I said Ann was with them.
I thought she was.
Ann was with the zombies, though.
You're right. Okay.
Zombies.
So it's just Trash then. Maybe one of his underlings, but
I think one of his underlings was with him. But
so they do a truce because Ogre's a reasonable guy and he trusts Trash.
Yeah.
Yes.
He listens.
He leans in.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, I believe you, man. This makes sense. Let's go. We got to go rescue Ann. So let's infiltrate the zombie headquarters.
Yeah. He explains to him that Hammer is behind it, and he's like, "Hammer's back?" And he's like, "Hammer is back." And he's trying to get the two of us, and he's working with the zombies, and the zombies have Ann. And Ogre's just like, "You're just trying to get your lady back, aren't you?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, a little bit."
And he's like, "I like your style." And then they decide to do it anyway. So they got to go back through scavenger territory. Yeah. And this is why, so it's Hammer, his lady Witch. She's never called that name, but it was in the IMDb, so I'm calling her Witch.
I heard Witch the second time through.
So she's rocking the dominatrix look. She's got a bullwhip. She's got these badass knives on her fingers. She's ready to kick some ass.
Everybody's ready to kick ass at this point.
And they're having hell time. And like Ogre's such a badass, he just comes with a fucking cane. I'm not even bring a weapon.
Yeah.
And fortunately it's a titanium cane because these guys are hacking at him with swords and he's just blocking them. Everyone's it's like Delta Force. They're having a hell of a time murdering people.
Exactly.
Scavengers are dying left and right. Then we learn also it's not just a cane, it's a sword cane.
Woo,
because Ogre whips it out, chops a guy's head off with it.
Dude,
fake head goes flying.
Murdering left and right and having a great time.
Witch is like doing some Wolverine shit and stabbing people with those finger claws.
And then fucking Trash turns a corner and he finds
Blade.
hanging there.
Poor Blade. Dying. Not dead.
Not dead,
dying.
but dying. And he goes up, and he's talking to him, and he's like, "What are you doing here?"
He's like, Ice, you can't trust Ice. He's behind all of this.
He's working with Hammer.
And then
the zombies.
This is where I think what happened with Mark Gregory. I think he's obviously a sensitive soul. You can tell by just looking at him.
Yes.
And the emotional toil it takes to play these roles took on him. He had to quit acting because it was too much. Because he's emoting the fuck out of this scene.
He's killing it.
There's literally real tears falling out of his eyes as he's watching his best friend die. And so much so that it makes the actor who plays Blade cry.
And remember what I said? We thought that Ice was 1B. Turns out Blade was 1B.
Well, he's 1C because Ann is still...
then Ann comes in the picture, and then it becomes 1C. Okay.
Yeah. So hoes before bros, apparently, in the Bronx.
Yeah. Well, there's not really that many women around, so...
That's true. There's and then Sandy, whatever the fuck her name, she got shot, so yeah.
Sorry.
Well, yeah.
But
so yeah, and then he learns all the plan, what's going on, and he does a mercy killing and snaps Blade's neck.
He embraces him because he's like, "I'm cold, trash. I don't know what to do."
Mama, is that you? He's like seeing his fucking dead family.
Warm me up like you like to warm the globe, because trash. I'm sorry. That was so as well. So. Mercy kill, like you say, snaps his neck like poor old Lenny.
Lets him know hot dog's in on it and everything. He breaks it all down.
He gets all the details out there.
So we do a little more scavenger fighting. We kill some more because we got to pick up the mood. Like we're in a downer mood. So let's kill some scavengers.
Yeah.
So we cut to zombie territory. Golem, whoever you want to call him. Golem Gloam Theater.
Yeah.
Is talking with Ice because he's been holding on to Ann for a Hammer and all them.
Yeah.
And Hot Dog, like we said earlier, Hot Dog, he just needs money. He's desperate. He wants nothing to do with this. He has nothing against trash, nothing against Ann. But he's like eavesdropping. He's hearing all this shit. We get a call from Mr. Fisher. Hammer, we need Ann by tomorrow. We need that deadline.
Yep.
Just like Escape from New York, we got to have that deadline.
Because they want to napalm the city.
Right. Scorch it to the scorched earth is what he said.
Yeah.
Because apparently we really don't need her. It's like kill everybody.
Yeah. If she's not out by then, fuck it.
So we don't know. I'm still trying to figure. It's not even worth it. But so she's dead or alive. Then whatever.
If you care about the plot, it died at that line.
Yes. So while that's going on, Trash and Ogre's crew have surrounded the whole zombie building.
Yes.
And they come in. First, they want to talk.
Yeah, they're trying to be diplomatic.
And we could tell there's some bad blood between Golan and...
There's so much bad blood. And he's like, I just came to... Golan tells him, like, what brings you here? And he's like, I just came to check on my kingdom. Can I check on my people? And he's like, you come up through the trash line? Or sewers? Yeah, the sewers. You come up through
trash on the brain.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
You come up through the sewers to greet me? And he's like... Is there any better way? I could have flown Delta, but this seemed like the better alternative.
This is cleaner.
Hey, Delta jokes.
So Golan's like, fuck this shit.
All of his guys surround him, and he's like, well, here's the funny thing. I've got you surrounded now. And this is my favorite ogre line. He's like, oh, well, here's the funnier thing. I've got you right here. And those two start fucking going at it. It's like the Battle of the Titans.
Kinda, but Ogre's just basically toying with them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about Titans. You really figure out there's only one Titan.
Right.
And it's
Clash of the Titan.
Yeah.
And Golan goes the way of the Titanic and gets fucking murdered by Ogre. And so, hey, we got Ann back.
That
everybody.
explains that one weird scene in the Titanic when it's going down. And you hear Ogre shout out, "No!"
So while that's going on, Ice, the whole plan's been foiled. So Ice is there. He's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. So he takes off, but he's confronted by Hot Dog. Hot Dog finally got a conscience, and he's like, "Look, man, this is fucked up."
Yeah.
And Ice is like, "Fuck you!" Whips out that Luger. Click, click.
It has blinks in it, so it goes off. That alerts Trash.
Okay.
And Ogre's like, "Go to it. Go to your man." And so he's like, "I'm going." And so that's where they're gonna run in, but this fight continues.
So then Hot Dog's like struggling with him, and then Ice is like, "Fuck this shit." Clicks on a little boot knife he has.
Yeah.
Stabs like Hot Dog in his hot dogs.
Hot Dog's getting all confident. And he's like, everybody knows
he got a special ass kicking shoe on.
You can't cut a hot dog in two. Once you cut a hot dog in two, it becomes some other kind of thing. Look, man, I'm doing this right now. I'm changing everything. I'm going to be with Ogre and Trash Man, and we're going to be cool. And no, he's not.
He gets kicked in the hot dog, and he dies. And then
that just sounds like he got kicked in the dick, though. No, he gets stuck in a very vital organ somewhere.
Right? Yeah, his dick. So Trash finally catches up, and Ice is trying to reason with him. He's like, "You're letting some bitch come between us. I was your fucking right hand man.
I was 1B."
And he's just like, "You're 1B itch right now."
Oh.
And he picks him up, throws him off this ledge, and he lands right on a spike that happens to just be sitting up it's like a piece of rebar.
Yeah.
And impales him, and it kills him.
Of course, he hits him with a nice line like, "Hope you're cold down there."
And I don't know when there was a scene that happened. We don't have it in our notes, but I think it was back. It had to have been back when Hammer killed that guy in front of Trash, because Trash confronts him and is like, "You forgot where you came from, man. You're so embarrassed to be from the Bronx. You turned on us and all this shit."
Yeah.
And then Hammer's mad with power at this time. He's like, "I'm gonna make him never forget I'm from the Bronx." So I just wanted to put that out there because you can just get in the mindset of Hammer. He's crazy.
Yeah, Hammer is going fucking ape shit.
So there's been a lot of murder and killing, Griff. So we need to bring it down. So we have this bizarre piano interlude for some reason.
Everything is cool now, right? We've got it all solved. Ice has been thwarted. Like Golem has been thwarted. So we're going into a nice little eye of the storm here.
There's basically only two gangs left in Bronx now: the Riders and the Ogres. So the Tigers. So they're just gonna cut it in half.
They're just gonna.
Or knowing Ogre, it'll be 60%.
Yes, 60-40. Also, if anyone knows Faygo drinks, it's a delicious one.
So they love. I get a lot of juggalos. Will get that joke. So we see, obviously, the actress who played Anne has never played piano before because she's like not even he's like looking straight up, like unless she's doing a Ray Charles impression, because she's just looking straight ahead off and like clack, 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 clack. But beautiful music is playing because all the sound was done in post.
You guys can't see this, but we're both doing the blind, like.
It's like if you heard she was a marionette and she had strings on her hand, like blah, blah, blah. And Ogre's like,
hair's still perfect.
Ogre's like, "That's beautiful, man." And he's like, oh my God, he's like, "You know what? I just met you, but girl, it's your birthday, and we made a giant ass fucking birthday cake that looks like New York."
Yeah. Twin Towers in cake form.
Yeah, one's leaning over. It was kind of in poor taste.
It was weird. It was weird that someone falls over and slaps the two towers over.
It was prophetic.
That was weird.
But it's still lovely. It's a beautiful, gigantic. Well, it looked like made out of like Rice Krispie treats. It was shitty. So
they didn't have the cake logic of nowadays, man.
So now because the deadline has been reached. Now send in the police. Is the police right? We don't need in now. Kill everybody. Scorched earth, Hammer.
I don't need my daughter anymore. Just fucking kill everybody.
So I thought this was very poor. It's not a very smart tactic. All right, guys, what we're going to do is, one, we're going to have a helicopter that hovers everywhere. Doesn't do anything. We rented a helicopter. We're going to use it. So we're just going to have a helicopter in the scenes. And we're going to send in guys on horses with flamethrowers.
It's very Renaissance, though. They're in a castle. Bring them into. It's like a weird sci-fi. It's like, it was cool. I loved it. Loved it.
So the cops are just setting everybody on fucking fire and shit. And meanwhile, Hammer, he's back at that place we talked about earlier. There's like a ceiling with this giant hole cut out. He's standing like on like the roof of this building looking down.
Yeah.
He's in heaven. He's like,
he's in like a leather cop outfit at this point.
Yes, he's got a leather cop outfit.
And he's just laughing. And you just hear laughter throughout it. And all of our favorite fucking people are
they're putting up a great fight. Witch is like whipping the shit out of people, pulling guys off by their neck and shit.
Amazing. Everyone's getting their moment here.
Right. And
way better than the Thanos scenes.
Way better. No finger snapping here.
No finger snapping.
And so, unfortunately, Witch gets shot in the back because these cops are bitches, man. They don't have the balls to fight a woman face to face.
Witch gets shot in the back.
It distracts Ogre because that's his woman.
Yeah.
And he gets shot in the back.
I don't even think they sleep together. I think that's just his respect.
Okay.
I think he bangs everybody else.
Okay. But her. Okay, I could see that. So he like stumbles to this like very artistic scene. There's flames everywhere. He stumbles to his throne that he has, and then he just sits down beneath it because it's almost symbolizing like I've lost my power. Like the king is dead.
It was beautiful.
And then there's a scene, and this is a very classic Fred Williamson move. I think he actually did it from Dusk Till Dawn too. He pulls out a cigar and lights it. He always does that in his movies. And then he just dies like a man.
We don't even know if he died. He doesn't keel over anything.
Well,
he's sitting up.
I've seen Escape from the Bronx, but I don't know if he's in that one. So his character might come back.
I'm really curious.
When we do this next episode, it's not going to be the next episode, but when we cover Escape from the Bronx, we'll know
at this point because I can't imagine.
We got to know.
Yeah.
So everybody's getting shot, including.
Well, now we got to go on to our boy Trash because
he's
got to be in danger too. They're surrounded. And sure enough, someone's taking a shot at him.
Once again, trying to shoot him in the back. All these fuckers do is shoot people in the back.
But of course, Ann has his 6. Ann takes a bullet.
Takes 10 bullets for him.
Yeah, 10 bullets. You were counting.
Yeah.
Very autistic of you.
Artistic? Thank you. So, yeah, and she it's blown away. Fucking hammer up in the crow's nest. I'm a god! I'm a god! Meanwhile, he's not participating in any of this. He's just watching.
He's just laughing.
You know why? Because he's the puppet master. He's above pulling the strings.
He did have a little bit of a little chub going there. You could tell.
He had those tight leather pants on. How can you not?
You can see a little chub.
And this once again, the tenderness and sensitivity of Mark Gregory, one of our greatest actors, living or dead.
Respect. Hopefully you're well out there.
He has another scene. He's not as moved by his buddy Blade, but he's still upset, and he sheds another tear. And she's like, did she say anything poignant besides "I love you"? Or did she
No, she tells him, "Look, it's from that speech he gave her earlier. You need to live with death. You need to walk.
You need death under your skin.
You need death under your skin." And so,
and he's just blubbering like a baby.
Yeah, he tears up again in the rage. Emotes way better than even Bruce Hasselhoff.
Sure.
What's his name?
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
I don't know where you were going. I was like, you Bruce Willis, David. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know.
He emotes better, I was saying.
Well, yeah. I'll give him that. He emotes better than David Hasselhoff. So, and he just gets up. He's like, all of a sudden, it's like all grief gone. He's got like Michael Dudikoff. No emotion on his face at all.
He's going to join Dudikon Infinity.
He was Steve James 1 minute. He was Dudikoff the next. And so he just walks over. Fortunately, there happens to be like a grappling hook gun.
If you're familiar with the Super Nintendo Super Scope, where Nintendo had the light gun, the little pistol-looking thing.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo made it a bazooka with a giant scope on it. That's what this was.
But it has like a grappling hook. Something Donna from Heartsick to Hawaii would lick her chops at because we know she's a harpoon specialist.
She's a harpoon specialist.
And meanwhile, I guess fucking Hammer'd seen all this, so he's even more a stick. And then fucking grabs that fucking bazooka, shoots Hammer right in the chest. Hammer gets hurt. He hurts some Hammer. And he touches that. And then he yanks fucking Hammer off of that perch he was on.
Yeah.
And then he just ties him to the end of his motorcycle and just fucking starts dragging Hammer away. We don't know if Hammer's alive or dead.
Yeah.
This is what I love about Italian cinema. That's it. There's no epilogue. We don't know.
Very Western-like. He rides off into the sunset.
Like Renegade? Like me and my bloody puking bear when we go up to Saginaw?
Yep. 10 miles an hour.
Well, he's got to, this no man's land doesn't mean you can't, observe the speed limit.
The weirdest part for me about this last scene was how quiet it was. Because we're coming down from all that action, flamethrowers, all that shit, shotgun blasting. And then that scene is very serene. It's just like he's stunned laughing. Now he's being dragged. He doesn't scream. He doesn't do anything. You barely hear a motorcycle.
His love is dead, dude. Like, he has no emotions anymore. Yeah. He's like a Terminator.
Well, he's dead, but Hammer also is just like, meh. Well, he's being dragged from a motorcycle.
Well, maybe he died from that getting shot in the chest with a grappling gun.
Yeah, he probably passed out.
He was 80 years old
I don't think he died yet. I think he passed out from the pain.
If he had the fucking mirrored shades, none of that would have happened. He would have dodged it.
That's a good point. He forgot his mirrored shades at home during this raid.
He missed that. He's so preoccupied with his leather policeman hat that he forgot about the shades.
Spent too much time tucking that dick in those leather pants.
Combing his mustache, doing all that shit. Mustache. But I also want to point out, a lot of mustaches in this movie.
A lot of mustaches.
Very mustachioed movie.
It's a good time for a mustache.
Speaking of mustaches... This has nothing to do with our next movie.
It doesn't.
But, Griff, Christmas comes early this year.
It really does. I didn't realize we were doing this movie next week, and I'm
Get ready.
Excited.
This is the greatest... It's a Golden Globus one, guys. We're back to Golden Globus. We're back to canon.
We're going back.
The greatest Christmas movie ever made. No, we're not talking about Die Hard. We're not talking about Lethal Weapon.
We don't need a Bruce Willis.
We're talking, and this is our present to you guys, because without a doubt... This guy is your number one action star, because there's not even... This is our number one episode. There's not even fucking... If we're not including bots, by the way.
Yeah.
Compared to any other episode. You guys know him. You guys love him. We're talking Sylvester Stallone. We're talking Marion Cobretti. Yes, Cobra next week.
It's going to be dope, so make sure to catch it. We're going to be letting you know via the Instagram, which, of course, is Golden Globus Theater, and the Twitters,
which is, of course, G&G Theater.
And until then, Murray,
keep it warm.
And I'll just say, remember to take your trash to the Bronx, because that's where it thrives.
Brooklyn.